Imagine this moment with me. You're standing in front of the mirror, maybe before church, maybe before brunch with your sister friends, and everything looks like it should. Your lipstick is just right, your earrings are catching the light, your blouse fits beautifully, and yet something in your reflection feels disconnected. Not older, not less beautiful, just slightly out of harmony with the woman you've grown into. For so many Black women over 60, that quiet shift begins with one surprising detail: hair color. Not aging, not wrinkles, not weight, but color. The tones we choose, the tones we keep for too long, or the tones we let slide without care. Because when the wrong shade sits on melanin-rich skin, it doesn't just change the hair, it changes how the light meets your face. And on Golden Grace, I'm here to make sure that light always belongs to you. Today, we're diving into the 6 hair color mistakes that can instantly age even the most elegant woman over 60, and how to correct each one with confidence, intention, and a touch of modern science. My goal isn't to tell you what to do, but to give you the knowledge that elevates your choices so your hair becomes your crown, not your compromise. So take a breath, settle in, and let's walk through this together, woman to woman. Mistake 1. Letting your gray turn from moonlight to fog. There's a version of silver hair that looks like soft moonlight. Glowing, elegant, effortlessly powerful. And then, there's the other version. The one that looks dull, slightly yellow, almost heavy. It's not the kind of gray that honors your wisdom. It's the kind that hides it under a haze. And here's what many women don't realize. That difference has nothing to do with age, and everything to do with maintenance. As melanin fades, the structure of the hair changes. It becomes more porous, more vulnerable to pollution, to UV rays, to minerals in the water. This is why silver hair on Black women can shift toward a yellow cast faster than we expect. It's not bad luck, it's chemistry. But here's the beautiful part. When gray is cared for intentionally, it becomes breathtaking on deep skin. It turns into a luminous contrast. A soft halo of light that makes cheekbones pop and brings out the bronze undertones of your complexion. Think about Angela Bassett when she wears those streaks of silver. Her hair doesn't age her, it crowns her. To get that kind of silver, hydration becomes non-negotiable. Gray hair produces less natural oil, which means dryness is the enemy of shine. Weekly masks with argan oil, shea butter, jojoba, or panthenol restore the flexibility that silver strands lose. The softer the strand, the more evenly it reflects light, and reflection is what keeps hair from looking dull. Toning is your next secret weapon. A violet-based shampoo every 10 days neutralizes yellowing, keeping your silver crisp and cool. This aligns beautifully with melanin-rich skin, allowing your complexion to shine instead of compete. And your cut? It matters more than you think. Gray without structure can look tired, no matter how well it's toned. A layered bob, sculpted curls, or a softly waved style brings movement back. Movement equals youth, energy, vitality. Pair that with a wardrobe that honors your color. Jewel tones like plum, emerald, caramel, or pearl, and suddenly your gray becomes art. The good kind. The kind that says, I haven't aged, I've evolved. Silver hair is not a surrender. On you, it can be a symphony. Mistake 2. Allowing red and copper tones to fade into brass. Now let's talk about red. Because when red is right, it is magnetic. It's bold, warm, joyful. It lights up deep complexions like sunset on bronze skin. But when red turns brassy, it can age you faster than almost any other color. Here's the science behind why. Red pigments are the most unstable in the entire color spectrum. They fade faster than browns or blacks, and when they oxidize, they shift toward an orange cast. And that orange cast works against melanin-rich skin rather than with it. It exaggerates uneven tones, emphasizes redness around the nose or chin, and steals the warmth from your complexion. But you don't have to abandon red. You simply need to choose red with intention. Shades like mahogany, burgundy, cinnamon, and auburn hold deeper pigments that harmonize with your undertones instead of fighting them. These tones reflect light beautifully, especially on women with golden or neutral undertones. Your undertone is your compass. If your skin leans warm, choose reds with golden or bronze bases. If you're cooler or olive, lean into wine or plum tones. When the undertone of your color mirrors the undertone of your skin, people see harmony, not contrast. For an even more modern touch, ask your stylist to add lowlights. Chestnut or espresso strands underneath your red soften the fade and prevent that flat, brassy look. They create a grounded richness that keeps your hair dynamic for weeks longer. But here's the big secret. Moisture is everything. Porous hair loses red pigment the fastest, and textured black hair is naturally more porous. Oils like jojoba and macadamia help lock color in while improving elasticity. The result is shine that feels alive, not loud. Think of women like Viola Davis. Her rich mahogany tones don't scream for attention. They hum with confidence. That's what red should do for you. Not overpower your beauty, but honor it. Because true vibrance doesn't shout, it glows. Mistake 3. Choosing flat, one-tone brown that makes your face lose its light. Brown is one of the most popular choices among mature women because it feels safe, it feels natural, it feels subtle. But here's the secret many women learn too late. Flat brown, brown with no variation, no dimension, no movement, can actually make your face appear older. When brown lacks highlights, lowlights, or tonal differences, it absorbs light instead of reflecting it. Think about fabric. Velvet reflects softly, but matte cotton swallows the light. Hair works the same way. And when all the light disappears from around your face, your complexion can look shadowed, your features look sharper than they are, and any fine lines suddenly become easier to notice. But here's the beautiful truth. Brown isn't the problem. The wrong brown is. When brown is done right, it brings a glow to deep skin tones like sunlight brushing warm undertones. Caramel, chestnut, honey, bronze. These shades add gentle radiance without looking artificial or overly bright. The transformation starts with adding depth, not drama. Tiny ribbons of golden brown or warm copper woven through your natural shade create micro-reflections. These small touches trick the eye into seeing volume, shine, and youthfulness. Then there's the magic of face-framing highlights. A little lightness around the hairline, just 1 or 2 inches, works like built-in soft lighting. It opens the face, softens expression lines, and restores the natural warmth of melanin-rich skin. Cinematographers have used this trick for decades because it makes everyone look more awake, more present, more alive. But let's talk about temperature too. Warm browns, the ones with golden or honey undertones, play beautifully with the richness of your skin. Cooler browns with a hint of violet can add elegance without heaviness. The key isn't how light or dark the shade is. It's how the temperature of the color collaborates with your complexion. And for my sisters with curls and coils, remember, your hair reflects light differently. Every twist and turn in your pattern creates angles where shine can dance. But that only happens if your hair is moisturized. A leave-in conditioner with argan or marula oil isn't just a luxury. It's what brings back that radiant sheen that flat brown steals. When your brown has movement, temperature, and hydration, it stops looking safe and starts looking sophisticated. It becomes serene power, quiet, but impossible to ignore. Mistake 4. Choosing blonde that's too icy or too bright for melanin-rich skin. Now let's talk about blonde, a color that carries its own mythology. For decades, women were told that blonde softens the face, brightens the eyes, makes you look youthful. And while that can be true, not all blondes are created equal, especially on deep, mature skin. Here's what many women over 60 discover. Icy blonde or overly bright platinum doesn't soften the face, it sharpens it. It drains it. It cools the warmth that is naturally your strength. This isn't about rules, it's about contrast. High contrast blonde on dark skin can create what colorists call the frozen effect, a look where your hair is so cool-toned and so light that it competes with your natural undertones instead of balancing them. But when blonde carries warmth, when it leans into honey, amber, champagne, or sandy beige, that's when the magic happens. Warm blondes harmonize with your melanin. They reflect golden light back onto your complexion, giving you that sunlit glow that feels soft and expensive, not washed out. The first key to choosing the right blonde is honoring your undertone. If your skin carries warmth or neutrality, golden shades will enhance your natural radiance. If you lean cooler or olive, champagne, or sandy beige gives just enough contrast without harshness. Then there's the matter of roots. A soft shadow root, just 1/2 inch to 1 inch, adds dimension and prevents blonde from looking like a wig. It gives the hair authenticity, softness, and flow. But let's be honest, blonde is high maintenance if you choose the wrong kind. Icy tones demand constant toning and salon visits every few weeks. Warm blondes age gracefully between appointments. They blend beautifully as your natural color grows in, allowing you to maintain elegance without exhausting upkeep. And blondes need strength. Bleaching weakens the hair, making it lose keratin and shine. Weekly protein treatments with hydrolyzed quinoa or keratin rebuild the structure, giving your blonde that buttery softness that moves naturally instead of snapping or frizzing. Finally, bring harmony back with makeup and wardrobe. Blonde hair loves deeper lip shades, berry, rosewood, terracotta, and fabrics like ivory, cocoa, or deep plum. These tones restore balance, letting the blonde highlight your complexion instead of overwhelming it. The goal isn't to look younger, it's to look radiant. Warm, dimensional blonde doesn't chase youth. It celebrates the woman you are now, with all the softness, wisdom, and glow that life has given you. Mistake 5. Wearing jet black hair with no dimension, making your features look harder. Black hair has history. It has power. It carries a regal strength that belongs uniquely to Black women. But as we mature, our features soften. And when our hair stays too intense, too opaque, too deep, it can unintentionally work against the softness and glow of our skin. Pure jet black absorbs up to 98% of visible light. That means instead of reflecting light onto your face, it pulls it away, deepening shadows around the eyes, sharpening the jawline, and sometimes hardening the expression. Many women don't realize that it's not the darkness of black hair that ages them. It's the flatness. When black hair has no variation, no reflection, no hidden highlights, it becomes a wall instead of a frame. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to give up black. You simply need to evolve it. Dimensional black, think espresso, dark chocolate, soft blue black. Still gives you that deep, dramatic elegance, but with a gentle lift that restores harmony between hair and skin. These tones reflect far more light, which brings warmth back to your face and softens mature features. Another secret is softening the root. A subtle gradient near the crown prevents that helmet effect many women over 60 struggle with. It creates natural movement and allows the light to interact with your complexion instead of shutting it out. You can also add whisper soft highlights, subtle caramel or chestnut ribbons placed underneath the top layer of your hair. They're not meant to look like highlights, they're meant to behave like candlelight. They catch the glow only when you move, adding a quiet elegance that feels expensive and intentional. And let's talk shine. Not greasy shine, not that heavy gloss that weighs the hair down, but healthy shine. Shine created by hydration and nourishment, using oils like marula, grapeseed, or sweet almond. These oils enhance the reflective quality of dark hair, giving it that velvety, luxurious look that instantly elevates your style. Your haircut matters here too. Jet black hair without movement looks severe, but with the right shape, layers, body, a gentle curve around the face, black becomes a canvas for grace. It frames your beauty instead of overpowering it. Paired with warm bronze jewelry, berry lipsticks, or a soft rose blush, dimensional black becomes not just a color choice, but a polished expression of maturity, power, and softness in perfect balance. You're not losing boldness when you soften black. You're mastering it. Mistake 6. Wearing the same hair color for years, with no transition or evolution. Now let's talk about a mistake that almost no one warns you about, but it ages women the fastest. It's not about choosing the wrong color. It's about choosing the same color for too long. Many of us pick a shade in our 40s or 50s, maybe a deep brown we loved, a bold red that made us feel alive, or a black that felt powerful, and we stick with it for 10, 20, sometimes even 30 years. But here's the part that's rarely discussed. As we age, our skin tone shifts. It becomes slightly softer, slightly cooler, or slightly warmer, depending on our health, hormones, and even sun exposure over time. And when our complexion changes, but our hair color doesn't, the harmony breaks. Color that once brightened you now overwhelms you. Shades that once warmed your skin now flatten it. Tones that once made you glow now make you look tired. Not because they're bad colors, but because they no longer match who you are today. Modern beauty for women over 60 is about transition shades, gentle shifts that allow your hair to evolve gracefully with your skin. Sometimes that means softening dark tones by one level so they reflect more light. Sometimes it means warming your brown with a hint of honey. Sometimes it means cooling your red into a deeper, more
Oh, I
elegant wine
absolutely
tone.
love how the
Sometimes it
silver
means
catches the
blending your
light. It's
natural grays
beautiful.
into highlights instead of covering them completely. The key is subtlety, not drastic change. Transitioning gradually keeps your look fresh, modern, and soft. It ensures your hair complements your undertone, your present undertone, not the one you had 15 years ago. Placement matters too. Even changing where your highlights fall can take a decade off your appearance. A brightened area around the hairline, a shadow root, gentle balayage. They add movement and softness without shouting for attention. And here's something important. When your hair evolves, your makeup and wardrobe should evolve with it. A shift from black to brown may call for warmer earrings. A shift from red to mahogany may need a new lip shade. A shift towards silver may pair beautifully with ivory or plum. These small adjustments keep your entire look cohesive, and that cohesion is what reads as youthful, modern, and intentional. Transition shades aren't about chasing youth. They're about acknowledging your evolution, honoring who you've become, and allowing your hair to reflect the woman you are right now, not the woman you were a decade ago. Beauty at this stage isn't about resisting change. It's about guiding it with grace. So as you stand here with me at the end of this journey, I want you to remember something deeply, beautifully true. Your beauty has never been defined by the number of candles on your birthday cake. It has always been defined by your presence, your wisdom, and the way you choose to show up in your own life. Every strand of hair you carry, black, brown, blonde, red, or silver, tells a different chapter of your story. The goal of coloring your hair isn't to chase youth or hide time. It's to create harmony, to reflect the woman you've become, to let your melanin glow, your confidence rise, and your spirit shine unapologetically. Because aging isn't fading. Aging is clarity. Aging is refinement. Aging is discovering your radiance in new ways. If any of these mistakes sounded familiar, don't be discouraged, be encouraged. Because now, you have the knowledge to make choices that honor your complexion, uplift your features, and bring your reflection back into alignment with your power. You deserve a hair color that celebrates you. One that softens where you want softness, deepens where you want depth, and elevates the natural beauty you've carried your entire life. And as always, here in our Golden Grace community, you are never walking this path alone. I'm right here beside you, cheering for you, guiding you, celebrating your glow at every stage. If today's message spoke to your heart, leave a comment and tell me, I choose harmony. Let me know which hair color journey you're on, what you're embracing, or what you're ready to let go of. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell, because your next lesson, your next transformation, your next spark of confidence, it's already waiting for you here. Until next time, my love, stay radiant, stay graceful, and always, always stay golden.